Welcome to another exciting installment of the Venus and Mars Show, where we always discuss differences between women and men from different perspectives, such as sociological, historical, financial, could be, many different subjects that we discover and discuss over, well, many years to come. I'm just kidding. Anyway, I'm your hostess with the Moses, Jennifer DeVoe Muse, and we have the lovely Samantha Bailey.
I was like, oh my gosh, it threw me off. Hi.
And the ever amazing China Myers from Pennsylvania.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hello. So today we're going to be discussing the differences in gender roles and how they have evolved over, the decades. Many differences have changed due to many different factors, such as political, such as advancements and different things like women's rights. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of differences when it comes to that over the decades. I mean, a lot has changed since the 1950s. So basically, this is we're discussing the evolution of gender roles. We're going to explore how gender roles have changed over the centuries, or, well, I guess decades, but yes, centuries for sure. We're going to discuss the societal expectations placed on men and women throughout history. And we're going to dive a little bit into how these roles differ in various cultures and what the future may hold. And so a lot,
A lot to cover.
I would have to say, this is just my personal opinion, that a lot has changed for women since the suffrage, just the suffrage movement of the 1910s and 20s and the suffragette movement, and they were the ones that were knocking on doors, they were hitting the streets, they were trying to get the word out, and they are the ones who got us the right to vote in 1920. You know what I mean? So that was a huge mile marker in our existence, because up until then, women couldn't really do almost anything. We still didn't get the right to own land or have our own bank account, our own credit card, our own whatever, until
Basically,
much
we just
later.
had to stay home and take care of the kids and cook. That was it.
Until at least, I would say, till the 60s, when women were burning their bra and fighting for equal rights, equal pay, which we're still fighting for in a lot of aspects.
Definitely.
But I mean, a lot has changed with a lot of different things since the turn of the century, and since 1900. A lot has happened for rights.
Fast forward just for a second.
Yeah.
I'm hearing lots of men staying home, and that's a big change.
Yes, that has changed quite a bit.
They're cooking.
Yeah.
That
now the woman can go out and have a career and can go to college and can support the family, and the man stays at home and takes care of everything. Samantha, we've experienced that firsthand, have we not?
Yes.
How?
I don't know.
I had a fiance at that time in life, from 2006 to 2011. So we're together 5 years. I was the one that was the bread earner. I was the one that paid the bills, worked, 1 or 2 jobs. I was the one that went out and did all the hard stuff outside the house. And he was the one that stayed home. The house was spotless. He kept the house spotless. Like, he had OCD. So spotless. You could eat off the floors.
He was no joke, huh?
Yeah, and then he took care of the kids. He walked them to school. He picked them up from school, brought them home. He's the one that took care of all the pets. he's the one that, did everything. And then, whenever he wasn't doing all that stuff, he was, playing video games and watching baseball and whatever he wanted to do.
Yeah.
But so that was a huge shift in gender roles.
Yeah. Big
I
time.
mean, I never really had it to where a man supported me, or like I did do the stay at home mom thing for like a year with my kids, but I also was going to college full time. So it wasn't like it was just, whatever, right? I was still, I took care of the house, took care of the kids.
Yeah.
But I was going to college.
Yeah, you were busy.
So,
and he
so I was still
basically,
doing
like I said,
stuff.
was taken care of. You guys basically reversed the roles. You reversed the roles big time.
He was horrible. He was horrible. He was horrible. He didn't even want to work a job most of the time. So I was always worried about bills and how shit was going to happen. And that was the other half of what produced this lovely woman here.
My father.
You gotta go.
It's called my ex-husband. He Yeah, I never really had a man support me or work a job while I stayed home. Like that 1 year, I did that 1 year. I don't like that. I like to work. I like to make money. I'm ambitious. I can't just sit idle and do whatever. I have to constantly, even like I work a day job. I get home, I go in my office, and I'm working another 6 hours or more.
Yeah.
At my computer, building the business.
Well, now you can do that. Before that was not allowed. Now
no, very true.
And
very true.
I'm reading something here. It says more women are staying single or marrying later. That's what's going on now too.
Okay.
They're going after their careers and they don't want a relationship or children.
A lot of women are waiting until they're older to have kids now too. I noticed.
Yeah, I know. Or
a
not
lot of
having
women,
kids at all. Remember?
Yes, or not having kids at all.
Yeah.
But a lot of that, if you think about that, if you ask most of these people why they don't want kids, it's because they're worried about the state of the world and how expensive it is for everything. So they're like, if I can barely take care of myself, how am I supposed to support a child?
Right. Or
so
they're
a lot
having
of
a
that's
medical
financial
problem that they can't have any children. So it's like
that's different. That's different. A lot of those people want to have children. A lot of them end up adopting because they can't physically have children of their own, which is sad.
This is a whole nother show, but there's a lot of fertile women out there, that are having problems, having children and, procreating because of medical issues. So that's a whole nother show.
That's a whole nother show. But gender roles have changed massively,
without a doubt.
Just since the 50s. Women stayed. Okay, I even think about the 40s when men were off to war for World War II, and they had the whole thing, Rosie the Riveter, right? It was the women went and worked. The women took care. They went out and worked the jobs so that
especially during World War II, women were in factories. They were fixing radios. They were doing all kinds of stuff they had never done before.
I think that's what kind of led to that whole
revolution. Yeah,
the revolution in the 50s and 60s of women fighting back and saying, we're tired and we're not going to take it anymore.
Yep.
Because up till then, men had run like everything.
Well,
you couldn't even have a credit card in your own name until 1970.
Unbelievable. Well,
a man had to be in a man's name.
Well, this is said, this is statistically speaking, the decline of the breadwinner, the husband breadwinner, is going down. So there's a decline in that.
Yeah, because as a society, we're becoming more progressive.
Right. So it's back to that other thing. You know, women are getting their careers. They're not having children. And with that, there's no breadwinner. You know, she's basically alone. Or maybe a little, booty call on the side or whatever. I don't know. But
yeah, right.
I don't know. Don't sound like no men are in the picture, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, very true. Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess it depends on what kind of life that woman sees for herself.
Right. Well,
you know what I mean? Like,
like you're a go-getter. So, like, I think more and more women are, they want to go after what they want to go after. Me, myself,
I've also been married 3 times. I don't know.
I'm okay.
Sometimes I wonder if that being that driven and that ambitious
could be a bad thing.
Sometimes yes, sometimes no. A lot of it is when I was younger, I didn't know necessarily maybe what kind of man I wanted or what man I deserved, really, to be honest with you. I settled because I didn't feel that I deserved more. I had low self-esteem, you know what I mean? So I felt, I could only get this type of man or that, whatever, and that was convoluted thinking. That was selling myself short and settling on what I did not deserve.
Right.
Yeah. And so, I mean, and when you have that mentality, you've been abused in life by a parent or whatever, right? And so now you have low self-esteem. Right. And so you're more apt to get with people that are not good for you.
Right.
Husband number 1 was a good man. He couldn't give me children. That's not his fault.
Right.
And I was too young and I shouldn't have gotten married. I was only 18. My grandmother guilted me into it. Said that I was going to break his heart if I didn't go through with it. And because I'm a good person, I didn't want to break his heart.
Right.
And I let her control me.
Oh, boy.
And you know what I'm saying? So like that marriage number 1 should never happen.
Okay.
In the first place. You know what I mean? And then so marriage number 2 was due to low self-esteem. And a horrible child to raise. That was really energy drainer. Massive energy drainer. He was psychotic as a child.
Was he really? That's your son?
Yes, I'm not joking. He was a terror. He was a horror to raise. It was very difficult.
Wow.
And
you did it by yourself?
I didn't think any man I got was better than no man at all. And I needed help. I was exhausted. He had run me down in life already. I was already exhausted. And you know what I mean?
I was him help?
40. Oh God. Oh my God. So much. It's ridiculous. I started getting him help at 1.5 years old. I took him to a psychiatrist at 1.5. I said, he's violent. I said, he kicks me, punches me, slaps me, pulls my hair, bites me, gouges me, and he wouldn't just do it to me, he would do it to others also. He was freaking psychotic. And he would just throw himself right down on the ground and woo, woo, and just like a huge, massive, just gone.
Wow. Well, this is another show, but
what's up?
Hey, how's it going? Sorry, I apologize for my tardiness and being late this evening.
The good son. This is the good son, Matthew.
Hi, pleasure to make your acquaintance. Happy to be here on the show. Thank you, Jennifer. I appreciate you having me here today,
Thank
this
you.
evening. So, can somebody please
Love
just
you,
refresh
dude.
me real quick? What is the topic of this evening?
We are discussing the gender roles and their shift over time between men and women, especially since the 1950s, like how the role of the family has completely changed and shifted to where like maybe the mother works and the husband stays home, or you know what I mean, like just the way
Definitely.
things have changed over the decades.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and they have changed a lot, and that's
They
what we're
have.
discussing. And we were just talking about Jennifer's problem, with her son and how she had to raise him on her own. And,
Absolutely. Yes.
he gave her a hard time. So that's the thing too. Like, okay, so you got all these women who want to be independent, right? And what I'm noticing, let's say they're in their 40s, 30s, 40s, and now they've got the career, they're out of school, they got the career, now they want a man. In my mind,
right.
And what I see is that, okay, now they got this man 30 or 40, but they've been independent all those other years, right?
Yeah.
And basically self-sufficient. So now they got this man, right? Now they don't know how to handle a man. Okay? Because they're so used to being on their own, they don't know how. Okay, because if you're a woman and you have a man, this is my opinion, and I think psychiatrists can, or marriage counselors could second my motion. But if you have a man, you got to let him be the man. You can't be the
Well,
man.
yeah, dude. A dude should still be a dude.
Okay.
Yeah, a dude should still. A guy should still be a guy.
You can't
Well,
demasculate the man.
Are you talking about emasculating someone?
Emasculate the man.
Yeah.
You can't do it.
What are your thoughts on that, Matt?
When me and my husband go to a restaurant, right? He's in front. I'm behind him because I came in behind him. That's all.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
He goes in. He walked in front, and I'm behind him. And the lady looks at me and she goes, "How many people?" Well, I don't answer because he's the man.
Oh, I got you.
3 people.
Out of respect, let him answer and all that.
This is what I'm talking about. But women today don't know how to do this. They want to be the man.
Yeah, no, I'm all set with that.
Okay.
I like being a woman. I like being a woman. I like JJ's a dude, and like let JJ be JJ. I ain't trying to change him. I ain't trying to let him do the dude stuff.
No,
here's what I was saying.
What's going on?
What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, if I may, from a personal standpoint, as a married man in this generation, see what I like in this conversation is we have 3 different generations here. We have Jennifer's generation, and my generation, and then we have Samantha's generation. So, I think when we talk about gender roles, it's extremely important.
We have 4 different generations.
Correct.
I think. Oh, right. Yeah. You 3 because you and your daughter is the same age. Your sister's the same age.
There's a 5-year age difference. He's 26, 21.
So,
yeah. So I mean, I'm on the. I mean, if you want to get really technical, we have Generation X right here. We have Generation Millennial, and then which is myself, and then we have Generation Z, which is Samantha. So that's if you want to go by
the Gen X. What are you? I don't know what.
I'm a baby boomer.
Oh, you're
baby boomer. So we have 4 generations here by technicality. Yeah. So but getting back to the point, as a married man in my generation, for millennials that are in their late 20s going into their early 30s, the issue that we're facing right now is the fact that women have this sense of pride, especially in my age group. That comes from social media influence, that comes from celebrity influence. And the issue is, because of the sexual nature of society today, mixed with the technology and media that we have, there is this, fuel, that women essentially They think that the pot's wide open. They think that there is an abundance of the men that they see on Instagram that are living these entrepreneurial lifestyles, the Andrew Tates, the Dave Ramseys, the gurus, and the celebrities, the Justin Biebers of the world. And they see this and they project this image growing up that
the grass is greener.
Well, it's not even that it's an abundance, and they're going to find it walking on the street. And what they don't understand is when you find a man of a different caliber, I have been a man of both calibers in my life. I've been a man with nothing to offer a woman who has been homeless and had no job and was a drug addict and had literally nothing of substance and value. I am now on the opposite end of that, where I make over $100,000 a year. I have a career. I have a family, and I have a reputation. Now in a capacity for business that I didn't have before. So it changes the narrative. When you look at what is the gender role and what is the value of a man and a woman in a relationship, people don't take into account that it's not just black and white. There are so many factors that you have to consider from every angle, and that comes from upbringing, comes from religion. I'm assuming you have one or you are religious, moral beliefs, addiction, or I guess you could say narcissistic luxury, discipline. All those things factor in to start to finish. And when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, my greatest flaw in my role is the fact that I believe I need to fix everything. And I don't ask my wife for anything, not even obedience, you would say. I ask my wife for cooperation. Look, I got it covered. And in my relationship, it's a little bit different because I am doing both gender roles. I make majority of the money, and I also do all the cooking and cleaning. I also do all the grocery shopping.
Okay.
So it's a long... It's a unorthodox dynamic, you would say, and majority of men in my age group, and even in my financial position with the stability that I have, would sit back and say, "Man, what are you doing? Why are you continuing to be with this woman? What value is she bringing to the table, man? Sounds like you're just feeding a martyr. Other than being a mother, you don't get a reward for that. It is a job, but it's a job you never get rewarded for, just like being a dad is. Being a parent is the unspoken righteous job of earth that nobody will ever get a reward for, but everybody will feel grateful to have had the privilege to do. So, with that being said, having that, setting boundaries with your partner is a big one. Not comparing to your partner is a second. Do not compare and say, I'm better than them, or I can carry 90% of the weight. It's supposed to be 50-50. It feels like 80-20. I don't understand. I didn't sign up for this. All of that is useless. It's meaningless.
Because when it comes down to, are you okay with that setup?
I've accepted that the strengths and potential and the growth pattern and timeline and outcome for my wife is not the same as I want to be a business owner. I want to own real estate. I am working and building a networking connection within what I do for a living to do exactly that. My wife wouldn't care if I worked at McDonald's. My wife wouldn't care if she worked at McDonald's, as long as we were happy. Her aspirations are to be a mom and exist. Some people are okay with that. Some people are, that's all right with them. For me, that's not the dynamic in the life path I would choose. However, the balance is when I have to weather the storm and go through the fire and fight battles and put on my big boy pants and make the man decisions, as you say, to guide and lead and direct my family. My wife is the balance and anchor that holds me to the earth, that keeps me from snapping, keeps me from falling over the edge, from falling in the old habits. She reminds me that there's an end purpose to it all, and you can compare it to the 60s, you could say. Some people would say the 60s and 70s, that was normal. You had a housewife. Her job was to keep you anchored and nurture you and the kids.
Right.
And your job was to provide. In today's dynamic, even if you wanted to, believe it or not, even with the amount of money I make, even if I wanted to, my wife couldn't quit her job. And we both work. And daycare is a lot of money.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, the gender role now pass on to a point of, is it more about gender, or has the economical standpoint and sociological change of the entire society we live in and the government that we are governed by put us in an inevitable situation where the gender roles have to change? Did we change gender roles over 5 generations, or did the world change us?
The world changed us. Yeah, because but even with that said, we could still, as women, let the man lead. Let the man be in charge.
In the right circumstances, I believe so. Yeah.
But this is where things are changing, and I don't believe for good.
Hi, Matt. He knows that cat personally.
What do you think, Samantha? Here, Samantha, I think you would have some really good insight on this. I know that your journey and relationships are young, and things are a little tense right now. With due respect to respecting your boundaries and not touching too deep on sensitive topics. If you're open to it, I'd like your insight, Samantha.
Right. I feel like, I guess what you're saying, but I feel like I'm more on the, like, I guess the independent side of feeling more like, I don't know. That's me personally. I feel like with everything in my life that's happened, I've really worked hard on like building myself up and being confident in myself and not feeling like I need validation from others. So
for me, which is good
quality.
It's more so felt like I don't ever want that feeling of someone else taking the control. And that doesn't mean that I want the control of the other person. That just means that I want to be able to stand up for myself, make decisions for myself, build the life that I want to live, and not have someone tell me how to live it, what to do. So I guess it's more so, you could say in a way it may seem more like I'm the man in a relationship, because I would like to say I'm very put together and I have a lot of aspirations. So I'm very much like in control of my own life, but I also allow the other person to be them and to do what they want. And it's not like, you know what I mean? Oh, you have to do this because this is how I want to live my life. It's just more like, I don't let other people make decisions for me. And that's where it's like,
well, I don't blame you. I mean, you have your own opinion, goals. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm talking about when you're in a relationship, okay? You can have goals. It's nothing wrong with that. And like your mother said, Jennifer, women didn't have those options back in the day. Now it's a great thing. We can have a career. What I'm trying to just say is that because so many women, not so many, but women today, some of them, they're getting the career. They're, letting the husband stay home. Somewhere in their psyche, they want to be the man. Now, it doesn't sound like you want to be the man. It sounds like you want to make your decisions. But see, when you're in a relationship, you make decisions together.
Right.
And you say, hey, I want to start a painting class. Oh, okay. Well, how much is that? If he says, oh, you can't do that, that's bad for you. No, we got a problem. No.
Right.
You discuss it.
That's how I
do. Okay. Well, yeah.
And I'm very much in the thought of like, I'm going to do what I feel is best for me. And obviously still taking account of the other person's boundaries.
There you
but
go.
If I feel like it's like, okay, that doesn't make sense to me, like I am going to do what I feel is best. And that's, you know, obviously I'm not like, oh, well, because you said you don't like this, it doesn't matter. It just more so means like, if I feel like there's nothing wrong with it, I feel like I'm going to make the executive decision as long as it's not hurting the other person.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Because if you go, let's say to your mate and you go, hey, you know, I want to start a painting class. And he goes, I don't think that's a good idea. Well, wait a minute. I want to start a painting class.
Right.
You know,
right.
That's what I want to do. And so it's like, no, well, we got a problem because.
Right.
And if he came to me and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, sure, go for it. You know, what could I do? You know?
Right. And I felt like I've always chose other people first. And that's why I said I very much stand with, like, I choose me first, because for the long time I didn't do that. And that really kind of
that hurt you
into a person I didn't like, and just kind of a people pleaser. And like, I'm just not willing to do that anymore. I'm going to stand for my morals and what I feel like is best for me and my future. So that's just personally.
That is a great message to send to girls. It's a great
At least she's been freaking learning from me. I kept telling her, don't be like me. There's a lot of things that I wish that I could have done or been or whatever. But that was then, this is now. Suck it up and just fucking deal with it. Right. My point is, I want my daughter to be better. I want my daughter to be better than me. Yeah. I was always that people pleaser because my mother and my grandmother controlled me. I let men control me. I was abused. My family, friends, like, I don't know how many friends took advantage of me because I'm such a nice person.
Yeah.
And I was always a people pleaser.
Yeah. I get it.
I didn't start to get out of that fucking mindset until I got to be in my 40s.
Yeah. Well, better
because
than ever,
that
right?
behavior gets ingrained in you because of being beaten down in life by so many fucking people, including your own mother, that you just kind of like, you know what I mean? So and then like you kept going for the wrong type of person. I kept going for the wrong type of men, the wrong type of friends, the wrong type of, you see what I'm saying? Because I didn't have parents that taught me.
I'm a people pleaser because, you know, that's my nature. Like, I want to help people.
Well, yeah, but to an extent, though, to an extent.
Exactly. That's what
not to where it's detrimental to your own self and your own life, your own money, your own everything. But that's what happens when you're beaten down in life and controlled and abused by a parent from the time you're like 2 or 1 or whatever the fuck. And then they die and you don't know how to process that. They die when you're like about to turn 14. You don't know how to process everything.
Yeah.
And then your dad remarries less than 2 years after she dies, starts dating like 6 months after she dies. It's just like a whole messy, like, you know what I mean? It's like it's a story for another fucking episode.
Yeah.
But point being is that it's like, I want her to be better than me. I don't want her to keep going down the same roads that I went down. I'm not saying become a cold, callous person. You can still be a nice person and be a good person and still help others. But definitely. I don't want her to be to the point of me in the way I was all those years.
Well, here's a message to women out there, okay? And it doesn't matter what age you are. My mother told me once, and she was so right when she said this. She said, it doesn't matter. Even if you're being sexually assaulted, you have the right to say no. Okay? If somebody wants you to do something that you don't want to do, you go, no. I'm not doing it.
I wish my mother had taught me that. I raised myself from the time I was 5. I don't know. I don't know. like
you have the right to say no. Listen,
like
I raised myself too.
Matt's been down that road. He understands.
My mother was never home. She was doing her own thing. She had 7 kids. We were raising. I always tell people, God raised me.
Yeah, right. Yes, same here. Same here. God raised me.
God raised me. He was like, no, don't do that.
Somebody had to.
Okay,
if I may interject, you know, what I would say when it comes to children and the roles of genders and parents and children, I will say today's time, it's a very sensitive topic, depending on who you're talking to. Because you go to school in public schools, especially nowadays, and you see drag queens and certain things being taught to 6 and 7-year-olds. And, you know, again, you know, it's a sensitive topic. You know, my belief is when it comes to gender roles and parenting, there really are none in today's world.
Yeah.
You know, and that's because of the statistics of it all. You know, 1 in 3 relationships and you know, marriages end up in divorce. 1 in, you know, 3 couples that have children end up separated. And, you know, because of the nature of society today and the fact that there's no expectation for anything of substance to last outside of our narcissistic beliefs of who we think we are within our careers and our abilities to support the people we care about.
Like you said, social media does.
Yeah.
You know, when we have that understanding that it's no longer about just gender, but now it's about choosing to break away and develop your own family. See, back in the day when you had a family, the nuclear family in the 50s and 60s broke away from everything and started anew somewhere else in a different state, different country, different place, different city. You got married, you moved, you got your own house, you had a child, and everything was new. You had to create your own vision of success. You had to create your own structure within the home that would breed a healthy lifestyle to the best of your ability. And there is no manual for it. The issue with today is because of these platforms, because of the ability to express ourselves so freely, the vision of reality when it comes to the type of world that we live in is completely skewed. You know, I predict that in the next 5-10 years, when it comes to parenting and gender roles and how people identify themselves, we're not going to have any type of distinction. There won't be any framework left. Anyone can be anyone. Anyone can be anything, you know, other than what nature. Correct. So with that being said, you know, my goal is to keep my family healthy and happy. Am I going to be able to control the dynamic? And I shield them from everything in the world going on today without completely removing every piece of electronic equipment from my home? No. As long as there's some type of electronic in my home, a TV, a tablet, or a phone, eventually it's going to get out. They'll have access to all of it.
Oh, yeah.
So the best thing I can do is
especially after they turn 18. Oh, my Lord. You didn't tell them about anything? They're going to go off the rails like Rumspringa.
Yeah. You know, well, I remember, not to cut you off, Dakota Fanning. She had just did some movie, and she was on TV giving an interview. And I forget who was interviewing her, but he said, "Did you see your movie yet?" And she goes, "I'm not allowed to watch TV." And he said, "What?" He goes, "Well, why don't you text somebody and ask them how your movie was?" And she goes, "I'm not allowed a phone." And she was like 16 years old.
That's crazy.
And I thought, wow. I mean,
and you're a movie star, but yet you can't use a phone or so. That's nuts.
She wasn't allowed.
But I don't know. I don't know. Marriage Number One. He was very manly. Super good guy, really one of the most amazing human beings on this planet, and I will always say that. Just weren't meant to be. It is what it is. He wanted to stay in a tiny little town on the Canadian border of Maine for the rest of his damn life and just live in the same place and do the same things. And
he didn't want to grow.
He was happy and content in his little world. And his whole family lived on the same road. He still lives in the house that he grew up in with his parents, I swear to God. And anyway, super nice person. He married the right woman for him. She couldn't have kids either, and they're perfect for each other. And they have their little life and, whatever. I wanted to see the world. I wanted to travel. I wanted to do exciting things and live in different places. I had ambition. I've always been ambitious, and I wanted to do more and be bigger than a tiny town on the Canadian border of Maine. So I said, I'm out. Bye, deuces, got divorced. I mean, that sucks, but I really didn't want to be married in the first place. My grandmother guilted me into that shit. Irish guilt. It's a lovely thing. And then like there's like Irish guilt. Irish cha. No, she was actually Protestant, which was funny. You'd think she was a Catholic or some shit, but no. And then she fucking, and then marriage number 2, got married because of the bad son, who shall remain nameless on this podcast.
What is he? What is he? Voldemort?
Yes, he's the bad son. The person who shall not be named.
Well, anyway,
so the one who shall not be named was so deplorable that I was exhausted and needed help in life, and so hence thought husband number 2 is a nice guy and got married. I agreed to have another child. Well, thankfully for Samantha. So she's here due to a pact I made that I would allow him one child and one child only. And that was the end of that. We got married. A year later, we had a damn child. So there you go. And
so, I had a moment today.
But the marriage with him was, I was the breadwinner. I went to college full time, 4 or 5 classes per semester. I worked sometimes 2 jobs because he wasn't man enough to do what he was supposed to fucking do. So when I have to become the man and the fucking woman,
that's bad.
This is not good. I do not like this.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Look, I'm okay if we both work. That's cool. Like, I'm okay with that. 50-50 roll, whatever. I'm okay with that. Because in this day and age, and as expensive as everything fucking is, you pretty much have to work too. Both of you have to work.
That's where I'm at. Yeah, you have to.
But we're also older and have no children still in the home. Do you know what I'm saying? Matt, you're young. You still have a small kid. I don't have any children left at home. Neither does China. Samantha hasn't even started having children yet. And this is what I'm saying. So when you're older, you can do that. You can both work. You can both have a career. You can both do what you want because now you've already raised your children and you're on to other things. So we have a lovely, happy husband number 3. Amazing. Love the motherfucker. We've had our ups and downs, mostly because of the one who shall not be named. He was pretty much the biggest problem in my marriage.
He's the biggest problem in every marriage and every relationship you've had since you've been alive.
Exactly. You're not wrong for that. You're not wrong for saying that. But I like our dynamic. We're business partners, but like I run the businesses. I do all the stuff he doesn't want to do. I do all the stuff he doesn't want to do. I'm doing website design. I'm doing the podcast. I'm running several businesses and trying to learn how to be a travel agent and all these different things. You know what I mean? And I make products, which he wants to learn, and I'm going to teach him. He wants to learn how to cut out patterns and how to heat press them to stuff. And, you know what I mean? So he wants to learn, and that's awesome. But I think if he'd be happy if I had the career and he did his thing. Be honest with you, I think he'd be okay with that. He'd be doing stuff for the business is what he'd be doing. I know him, but he retire.
Just doesn't want to be up front.
No, yeah, and I'm okay with that because I'm a business oriented person.
A people person.
I'm a people person. I'm good at all these types of things. So he'll, like he doesn't want to have to pay the bills. He just gives me the money and then I go and pay the bills. You know what I mean? He says, okay, he'll go and I was teaching him how to set up his share of the payment to go to the rent. You know what I mean? Like on his phone and stuff. Like I'm trying to teach him more technology stuff. He's getting better. He's doing a good job. He's been learning. So he's a smart man. I was, smart for marrying that one. You know what I mean? But we have a good dynamic with the way we do things. I do stuff he don't want to do. I don't, you know what I mean?
Nothing wrong with that.
No, that's what I'm saying. So we have our dynamic. It works. And, he does his thing. I'm in my office all night, just doing work stuff. You know what I mean? He's doing whatever he does. You know what I mean?
Well, so what would you say your relationship is like? Is it like it's not the nuclear relationship? Is it more traditional, more
I say it's more modern. Definitely. It's more of a modern dynamic in a world where there are infinite possibilities and more resources and technology available to be an artist and create and establish and grow. That it's definitely more. That's the modern mentality. It's becoming more of a trend. It's not as big as you think it would be, but the idea of being a successful power couple, regardless of when you end up doing it, is becoming more acceptable in this society, more possible than it has ever been.
I guess we have a modern relationship. Damn. Okay.
Yeah, so you guys can definitely grow. I unfortunately have to hop off this podcast here shortly.
I got you.
I do appreciate
you on.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate you
always
guys.
Need male perspective. So any week you want to jump on, you ask me. You just say, "Hey, Jen, what's the topic this week?" and I'll send you the info.
Absolutely. I love you all. It's a pleasure meeting you.
Love you very much.
China and Samantha, call me when you have a chance. Talk to you guys soon.
Are you going to be
I love you, dude.
I'll be up a while.
Okay, I'll probably call you after.
Okay.
Bye. He seems so sweet.
He's the good son.
He's the brother I wish I had.
Yeah.
Like biologically.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. I don't know. I guess JJ and I do have a modern marriage or whatever.
Well, that's how I was thinking that.
I like our dynamic. I don't know. I think we have a good relationship at this point. Now that I have stopped allowing the one who shall not be named, come between us.
I don't blame you.
It took a lot for me to get there. Do you know what I mean? Like,
no. It took a lot for you to say no. Remember what I told you? No.
He says, "Sorry, I'm late. Did I miss the penis pump segment? Who was that? Who said that?" So I can't see the names. I need to go check the change of settings.
Oh my goodness.
Hold on. I could tell you. It is Paul Peters. He said, "How much Viagra is too much?"
That is a very good question, Paul.
Tell me needs to ask the doctor that.
That's a very good question. Very good question. And we can talk about that on another segment.
Yeah.
How much stimulation is too much stimulation for males and or females?
Well, I still think that,
we can talk about all that. Yeah.
Female? They have Viagra for females?
I'm sure they probably do. They have something. He says, "How much Viagra is too much?" Very good questions. I love it. I don't know. I think if you take more than one pill in a 4-hour period of time, that might be too much. It might be too much.
See a doctor.
That sounds like a problem.
Yeah, there is female Viagra.
There is, yes. No, yeah, because there are, some women, maybe they can't get whatever. But that's a whole nother topic for another episode. But yes, gender, I agree, gender roles have changed drastically in the last 74 years. It's hard to think. 1950, that's 74 years. But just even since, like, we were talking about World War II, even that, just like, that I think that's when the dynamic started to shift, was the 40s, really, be honest with you, if you think about that, because of the whole, even the 20s, but because women got the right to vote, and that kind of made it so now men couldn't control certain aspects. You know what I mean?
I think women were smoking in the 20s, the roaring 20s. I think they were smoking.
That's what I'm saying. They weren't like new. There's so many things that happen. I think the 20s kind of the 1920s kind of triggered things. Like women, the suffrage movement. That was a huge thing. Women got the right to vote, and then it just kind of went and snowballed from there. And then you got the 40s when Rosie the Riveter, now women are working in the factories and doing all the stuff, and the men are off to war. And then so that changed the dynamics of things.
I would say I'm more, my relationship is more traditional.
Pants? Women weren't even allowed to wear pants until
I know. That's crazy.
But 40s, 50s, something.
I would say my relationship is more traditional. Like, my husband's in charge. Of course, if I don't agree with something, I speak up or whatever. Yeah. But he leads. He pays the bills. He we're going here, or if I want to go a place, I'll say, yeah, I want to go that place. But basically, he's in charge. I let him be in charge because he's in charge. And I cook, I clean.
Nothing wrong with a dude being a dude.
Yeah,
guys should be guys.
I don't have a problem with it. I don't want to be the man.
We may be modern, but I just let JJ be JJ.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. It's like, you're a dude, like, you know what I mean? But he does like a lot. He does the dude stuff though. Mm-hmm. Like, yes, I pay the bills, but he like, I just tell him how much is his half, and he goes, here you go. And then I go and pay everything. But then he does like fixing the toilet or fixing the wall or fixing carpet. He does like the manly stuff. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I still let the dude be the dude.
Right.
The guy be the guy. Like, he's a guy. Like, you know what I mean? Like he's the one that works on the car. Right. I don't work on the damn car. He's the one that works on the car. He changes the brakes.
I don't want to be the man.
The brakes. No, but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Even though, like, maybe I do some manly type things, I guess, or whatever. Right. I mean, in the sense of I pay the bills and shit. But, like, women are typically bookkeepers anyway. Yeah. Women are usually bookkeepers and office management or whatever, and they pay the bills for the fucking business. These, accounts payable and stuff. Typically, that's women and stuff. You know what I mean? So, to me, that's not like a guy's job. A guy's job is like fixing the car, fixing something around the house if it breaks, or whatever. You know what I mean? That's like dude stuff. I figure that's like
in that aspect. I do some of that. I'll fix things.
Yeah, I will to an extent. Like, I know how to. I've laid flooring. I did carpentry. I ran an apartment building. So I did all the stuff around the building, like fixing the walls, laying tile in the bathroom and the kitchen, laying rug. I've done almost anything you can think of. I was a mason's attendant. I've done construction, roofing, you name it. I've done all tons of male-oriented jobs. Worked in factories. I've done so many male-oriented jobs.
Actually,
I didn't like doing it, but you know what? Bills got to be paid. And you living in Maine, bills got to be paid. If you got to work construction, you better work construction. I just mean like when jobs come along, more so than it used to be.
Well, how about that's everywhere? Everything's expensive everywhere now.
I just lived in certain places sometimes, like if you living up on the Canadian border, there's not a whole lot of damn choices for jobs. So you take what you can get. And if that means whatever, then you do whatever. So if I had to, I literally picked potatoes out of the ground with my hands. That's what I say. And that was for 50 cents a barrel. You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
To make that money. I worked at McDonald's. Don't be bougie. Nobody got time for that. You got to pay your bills.
I used to be a CNA.
Three things I said. Look, the only three things that Jenny said she will not do. Hooking, stripping, and porn. Okay? We do not do those three things. Other than that, pretty much everything goes.
Yeah, I used to be a CNA, and you know what that is, cleaning up poop.
Oh God, no. My Nana wanted me to do that. I said, hell no.
That's hard work.
I did not want to do that.
I did it. It was
I'm
hard
all
work.
set.
But like I said, I'm like you. Like I would have worked at McDonald's if I had to.
Right. Bills got to get paid. You can't be bougie. Ain't got time for that.
Nope. Not when ain't nothing going on but the rent.
Oh God.
Keep it real.
Some of these.
So Samantha, what do you think? What do you think, Samantha?
I think some of these comments are crazy.
Who's saying stuff?
That's all Paul.
Okay. Paul. Oh, okay, interesting.
So your husband rules you, China?
Wait, secretly, is this your husband that's chiming in? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I don't know who that is. Sound like China is a slave.
Is that a race joke? You better stop that.
No.
Just kidding.
China seems like a trophy wife.
You a trophy wife, China? You a trophy wife?
I'll be a trophy wife.
You be a trophy wife.
Listen.
Wait. We're about to blow your mind, Paul. Her husband's white.
Sit back and let the guy control everything. Doesn't sound healthy.
No, we don't. We do not want men controlling everything. That's for sure. But no, we just saying, let the guy be a guy, let the chick be a chick or whatever, like, I don't know. I also don't like being in controlling relationships, and I don't want to be with someone who's a fucking drama queen. I don't have time for that whole, like, I'm sorry, Samantha, your father's a drama queen.
She's like,
drama queen. He is a gossip whore. He is so horrible. Wait a minute. I used to hear him like gossiping. I'm like, you sound like a dude. You sound like a woman.
And he liked to gossip too?
Yeah, dude. I said, are you secretly a woman?
Yeah. He had a lot of woman traits.
Well, I mean, it was like a Tic Tac. I'm just kidding. It was an innie. I'm surprised I got pregnant. I'm just kidding.
That's funny.
I can say these things because I know he'll never watch this podcast.
He'll never watch it.
And I also do not ever say his name. So he's lucky. Anyway.
Well, all my relationships other than this one didn't work because I didn't have God in the middle. Now that sounds like a holy roller.
Okay, got you. Yeah, right.
But that's the truth.
I mean, you know, that's another factor. That's another factor in today's world. Mm-hmm. Is not everybody does religion.
No. But it works for me. So
my husband's not religious.
Does he believe in God? Because you could be not religious and still believe in God. Does he believe in God? No.
I am I'm an agnostic. Okay. I guess is what you'd call it. I believe in the possibility of something more. Okay. I mean, I was raised. You say God. You know, I was raised that is God. So that's what I've chosen to call them because that's what I was raised. You know, right. It's God.
What about you, Samantha? Do you believe?
For the longest time, I was agnostic, but I'd say I'm now leaning more towards Christianity. But
which is cool. I mean, you know, do you be you know be? I've always taught my children be free to be yourself. If you want to go to church and be a Christian and all that, I will wholeheartedly support you.
Yeah.
I was raised that way. I was raised Christian. I do believe in a God. I don't know if necessarily what's in the Bible is how I believe God would be, but you know, but there's also a New Testament and Old Testament, so it's kind of like, which is it? That's kind of confusing. But I do believe in being a good person and doing what you're supposed to in life.
Yeah.
And you know, being supportive of others and help lift other people up and giving back to the community, being a good wife, being a good mom, being a good friend, is good sister, good daughter, whatever.
You know, I have a certain worldview, and that consists of, you know, trying to keep a moral core, you know?
Yeah, of course. You know, like, you don't steal from your family or friends. You don't steal, period. But especially you don't steal from, you know what I mean, from people you love or whatever. Like there's a certain rules of this world you should adhere to. You know,
in my opinion, I know we're digressing, but in my opinion, there has to be a line that you won't go over. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. Of course. Like, you have to have some kind of, you know.
Like I said last week, I would never cheat, you know?
Yeah.
I would never try to hurt anybody. Even if we're not in a relationship anymore, I wouldn't try to hurt them, you know?
Right, yeah.
And be vindictive like that, you know? There's certain things I just won't do.
Right. I would never do those things ever again in life. I have grown a lot as a person.
Yeah.
I did that once in life to husband number 2, and that was wrong of me, and I know that it was wrong, and I just wanted to not be married to him.
Yeah.
And I thought in my head, I don't know why, I just like, oh, well, this will be a good way to end it. So he'll just leave and I won't, you know, I'll be done with that. But he forgave me.
Just he forgave me. Just this might help make you feel a little better. All the disciples were very bad people, just so you know. and they changed. I mean,
again, I'm not perfect. I did make that mistake one time. That was stupid. I should have never done that. That was childish and immature. And it wasn't to get back, and it wasn't anything else. It was just like I wanted out. I didn't see that relationship going anywhere in life.
Yeah,
because he wasn't on my caliber as a person. Do you know what I mean? Lazy, no ambition, no discipline, no nothing. Like no, No, not religious at all. Not anything. He wasn't like any of the things that I would adhere to have as a.
Hold that thought. Let me read this to you. Jennifer probably takes no BS from anyone. Good quality, right. China. You will lose your voice if you allow a man to have full control, meaning he is your world. What happens if you find out he's cheating on you?
Well, that is a good point, Paul. I've been there before, so totally understand.
Hey,
but that was, in my opinion, that was kind of like a wake up call for me. Like it was like I cheated on her dad, and then this guy cheated on me. See what I'm saying? So it's like it was like karma.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And I said I will never allow that to be me ever again, and I will never allow myself to have that happen to me either. So I just had to like at some you have to like have ground rules and standards in life, and
yeah,
you know what I mean. Like that was the 30-year-old me. This is the 51-year-old me.
See,
I'm not exactly the same person. I have evolved a lot over the years. But I do like my dynamic in this marriage the most, but it's also conducive for someone our age group. I'm 51, he's 56. He'll be 57 in 2 months. And I'll be 52 at the end of January. So it's just like this is perfect for us at this stage in the game.
Right. Yeah, good for you.
I would not
do what works.
I wish I had met him earlier in life.
Oh, I say that about my husband. I wish I would have met him earlier in life.
But maybe maybe we were just different people at that point, and maybe we wouldn't have been good together at that point. I don't know.
Right.
But you know what I mean? But gender roles have changed a lot over the decades. You know what I mean? So it's like even as your age progresses, like what you wanted in your teens or your 20s is not necessarily the same thing you're going to want in your 30s or 40s or 50s or beyond.
Yeah. I mean,
you know what I mean?
It's just that when we're alone, like we talk all the time and we have a really good relationship. I mean, it's not perfect. We argue. I'm not saying that, but our relationship is so special to me.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So we get in mosh pits together.
Yeah. I remember you told me about that. That's awesome. I like that.
We go to concerts together. We do everything together. Like I can't imagine my life without him.
That about California?
He's like my best friend. We have so much fun together. I miss that. We miss California very much. We miss Los Angeles. We're looking to steal Samantha and run away. And
gotta go with them.
We're going to Cali. We're going.
Paul says that we need to pray for you, China.
Why? Oh.
That's what the comment says. I think we need to pray for China. Jennifer is smart. She's fine.
Make sure you write in there whatever.
Paul, you are a treasured member of our audience.
You know Paul?
I don't know.
No.
Maybe.
I looked at his account. He doesn't have any. It doesn't show any friends, any pictures, anything.
Paul, whatever.
Who are you? Are you a
Thank you, Paul, for writing into the show. We appreciate you and your patronage.
Mind your own business.
Paul's gonna get a barrage of. Anyway, we're gonna leave it alone. But yes, but we can wrap up our conversation though. But I think that
my thing says in conclusion. Now hold on a second.
Okay, yes, go for it. Bring up any stats or anything you saw from these articles.
Okay. So this is conclusion. In conclusion, it is evident that the traditional roles of men and women are changing. there are now more opportunities for women to pursue careers.
Yeah.
And men are taking on more responsibilities at home.
Yeah.
The shift in gender roles can be seen as a positive step forward for society as a whole. As we continue to move forward, it will be interesting to see how these changes play out in our society. Yes, it is very interesting to see how things are going to progress. But as of now, as opposed to the 20s, the 30s, the 40s, and 50s, it is totally different than what it was. And that's okay. Hey,
100 years, 100 years, a lot has changed.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to do what you got to do. So
that's why I think the 19
works, right?
So I think the 1910s into the 20s is what kicked everything off for many things.
Yeah. I say you got to do what works.
Because every situation is different to every person.
Yeah.
Not every woman is
like staying home. And he did good, right?
Well, not every woman is highly ambitious. Not every woman. Some women want to be married, but they want to be the homemaker. They still want to cook and clean and have kids, and that's okay too. If that's your shtick, then go for it.
That's what works.
Every relationship is different. Every marriage is different. Every dynamic is different. Every family is different.
Well, that's
so we can't just say yes to anything. Yeah,
that's what I was saying about your son that came on.
Yeah.
I mean, his relationship is he basically does everything, but guess what? It seems like it works. So hey,
as long as it works for them, then that's all that really matters. Yeah, because it's not my place to judge anyone else's relationships or tell them how to be or whatever. So I just think every relationship, everything is different now. You know what I mean? So gender roles are also unique to each family and each, people. It's not as cut and dried as it once was. It used to be man is the man works, the woman stays home with the kids, cooks, cleans, whatever, and the man goes and does his thing.
Right. So the audience, just I'm retired. I'm not staying home. And I'm retired. I worked in my life and now I'm retired. So since I'm home, I can cook and clean and I don't mind doing that. I actually enjoy it. I enjoy cooking. I enjoy cleaning and I enjoy taking care of my husband. I don't mind doing it. I love it.
Well, now you're retired and you can kind of do that before you work jobs and stuff,
Oh my goodness. Before I worked like 3 jobs.
That's what I'm saying. You were always working before.
Always working.
So that's different. You know what I mean? So now you can do more things like, do these podcasts with us and have, and do your thing, putter around the house and whatever,
cookies.
Exactly. But see but you've earned that right now that you're retired from working. Right. You can do what you want and be more, but now it's more relaxing. You're not like,
I'm not trying to cook and then getting ready for work tomorrow. Thank God, Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So,
done.
But a lot has changed. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it's for the good, in the sense of whatever works for each individual couple.
Well, it's neither here nor there. It's what people prefer, what works for them. He was saying that daycares are very expensive. So basically, if and he said what he's making like 100,000. Yeah, what you got to make like 200,000 because daycares are so expensive, and 2 people still have to work. So it's not
so easy. Well, if he can bring in enough money to sustain their lives, and she can stay at home and take care of the kid while
she works too.
Doing that.
He said she works too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Yeah. So it's like you have to because everything's so expensive. I mean, I remember when I used to go to the grocery store and spend $100 and didn't have anything. Now I'm spending $300-$400 and I still don't have anything. It's like times have really changed.
I am a very frugal person. I can go to the Dollar Tree and design an entire unique weeks full of food on a budget of like $50. You gotta just be you gotta be willing to go there. Like, even if you gotta make some creative shit out of ramen, okay? I don't care. Like, we've done that many times. But that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's just about being frugal. Like, I mean, I was a single mom raising 2 kids and having to figure out, all these different things. And you know what I mean? So,
yeah,
especially when we were homeless, Jesus Christ. You have to get really fucking creative and be on a budget. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, we also had food stamps. I made sure of that.
That's the case for a lot of people today. I wouldn't say a lot, but some people are struggling because of these high prices of everything,
Yeah, but you just got to be willing to not get fucking name brands. You got to be willing to go to the shop at the dollar store for food items. Like, I don't care, dude. You know what I mean? I'm that person. And, okay, so pound of hamburger is real expensive. Well, I can go get a pound of hamburger, even if they're frozen patties at the Dollar Tree, and I can make a damn pound of hamburger, and it's going to be way cheaper than the pound of hamburger at the damn store. So I'm just saying, like, you just got to be willing to go there. That's all I'm saying. Be budget friendly. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It just, I think men and women just do whatever is best for your relationship at this point. Things are not the same. It's not as cut and cookie dried, cutter, whatever now anymore. Like, man works, woman stays home. You know what I mean? Now it's just, everything's different.
Yeah.
Everything is upended and changed.
Well, I was talking to my sister that when she's retired a few years now, but when her and her husband were working, he used to work during the day and she worked at night. So he
okay. And now that would be a difficult thing to do.
Yeah.
I never liked working different shifts than my significant other, because then you barely ever see each other. Well, we've kind of had to do that. We've
in the night.
Yeah, we've kind of done some of that a little bit, but not that much really. Most of our stuff pretty much aligned. We work different days. That's another thing that stinks. Now we actually have one day that we have off that's the same.
Oh, that's
so we at least get one day together.
Do you do fun stuff, or you just chill together?
He's still mostly in the living room, doing whatever he's doing, and playing his video games on his phone, or watching a YouTube video, or watching one of his TV shows or whatever. And I'm in the office working on podcasts and website design and flyers for the episodes. And like, I mean, we have 3 launched podcasts right now as we speak.
Wow.
And soon we're going to have a 4th. And then Samantha has her own podcast.
What?
On the side of what we're doing.
What was that?
Oh, cool. What's your podcast about?
Tell them the name of the podcast.
It's called Minds on a Mission.
Oh.
And
what's it about?
It's basically kind of like her Wicked Entertaining one, but where I sit down with entrepreneurs from different niches and just kind of get to know them, and we talk about like different subjects. But typically my episodes are tailored to the person, just to kind of get to know each other and learn about their worlds, because there's a lot of people from a bunch of different niches. So that's kind of what that is. And
different business owners.
Yeah, different entrepreneurs. And
sounds awesome.
That one's typically 2 times a week, and it's booked out until April.
Oh yeah, dude. She's a go-getter, I told you.
And I've got quite a bit of a waiting list. But if you're interested, definitely reach out to me. I am also looking into possibly specialized times, but right now just a lot going on with 2 episodes a week. So
that's what I'm saying, dude. She got 2 episodes a week on that. What, Fridays and Mondays, right?
Yeah.
What time?
They're typically Mondays are 7 to 8 p.m. and then Fridays are 8 to 9 p.m.
Okay, so how would somebody get a hold of you if they wanted to check you out?
There's several ways you could do that. My Facebook or that's probably the best route because I use Messenger.
Messenger, yeah.
So that's probably your best option. And if you wanted to check out the podcast, I do have a link tree that has all the links to all of my stuff, free resources and everything.
What's your link tree at your, like ours is at Jennifer DeVoe Muse. What's yours?
Mine is, let me double check. It's at the THE Samantha Bailey. SAMANTHABAILEY.
Cool.
So at the Samantha Bailey. There you go. She's the Samantha Bailey.
I don't think they had the regular Samantha Bailey.
I don't know. I think it's awesome.
It is awesome.
So make sure you check out Minds on a Mission podcast. What is your? I know so that's your link tree, so they can go. Okay, so if you type in at the Samantha Bailey on Linktree, it'll take you to where you can see all her links to all her different stuff.
Yeah, and for Minds on a Mission, to make it easier, the first thing that is listed on my Linktree is a Google Docs page that brings you to all the links for the podcast.
Awesome. It sounds good. I mean,
That's what I'm saying. She's a smart woman. She's a smart woman.
I'll throw something out there that's a possibility. I am possibly thinking of creating a course on how to start a podcast.
There you go.
There you go. Sure, why not?
Because I've put in a lot of work in starting my own, and I feel like
there you go.
I definitely could share a lot of tips and tricks on how to.
It's a lot of work.
You can also get information from your mother because
I've already
started a radio show back in 2012.
I already created a whole plan for someone else on how to start their own, and then that kind of had me thinking I could create a course on this.
You could.
And so I've kind of been thinking about that, and also thinking of.
I think that's a smart idea. You should
collabs on the podcast because I have a shortcut that my friend set up, and I was thinking about possibly doing some webinars as well to kind of get some leads for the course as well. So I was thinking of maybe going and collabing with some people as well, and if they had a section in the course, they could get a % of commissions. So say if we had a webinar on a specific thing, if you purchase the course through that webinar, that person that I collabed with would get a percentage of that.
There you go.
Oh, that's cool.
Sounds awesome.
So that's China and I know all about having a podcast, don't we?
A lot of work.
She was on Jenny's Real Talk on the Block with me.
Yeah. Oh, that was easy. She did all the work.
Yeah. Kind of like now, but that's okay. No, but see, now you do research. Now you do all kinds of research and like getting all kinds of stats and you know what I mean? So that's smart.
The abuse one, I made a slideshow. I made a whole slideshow. I wanted to do a little presentation.
Well, save that for when we do that episode. You want to do that next week? Okay, there we go. So next week, the topic of the Venus and Mars show will be abuse.
So
and that's from male and or female perspectives. And,
yes, I like it.
You know what I mean? So I already have the stats and all the stuff printed off for that shit.
I got the slideshow. I want to do the slideshow.
Okay, well let's do this. We'll do the slideshow too. Yeah.
Hey, are we gonna do the commercial?
Oh yes. Okay, so our sponsor is Dubby Energy.
I'm glad you remember.
Go to dubby.gg. That's the website. D as in David, U, B as in boy, B as in boy, Y.gg. And type in our code Get Real Global TV. So Get Real Global TV. And that will get you, was it 10% off your order, I believe?
They have protein drinks, and I heard they're very, very good. So if you give them a try,
yes.
I know you'll like them.
Yeah, it's got brain boosters in it. It's got vitamins, like it's got vitamins B, like what is that, B12. They got vitamin C in there. They got a bunch of really good stuff for you. So they're like healthy type drinks, healthy type. They're like an energy drink, but it's more like healthy stuff.
So it's
instead
Dubby,
of like all that nasty crap.
Yeah, what is it? Dubby dot what?
GG.
Okay. So if somebody was going to Google it, they would just put in Dubby, DUBBY dot
GG.
Dot GG.
And okay. I put it in the chat on Facebook.
I see it.
Yeah. And then so you just go in there, you type in Get Real Global TV, and you can get a discount on your purchase. Right. Thanks to us and Dubby Energy. So hell yeah. So hopefully you guys order some stuff, and you know, it's really good stuff though. They got tumblers, they got like big shakers, like big, you know, the containers and cups and whatnot. They got all kinds of stuff. Awesome. They're really awesome logo too. I really like it. They? Yeah, it's interesting. It's like a smiley face, but not smiling. It's weird. It's really interesting. It's really cool. It's like it's more modern. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. I need to find a way to I need to start you know, putting that stuff on here.
You should change
pop it in.
Do I have it? Do I have it? Hold on. Let me see if I even have it on my. I think I downloaded.
Pop it in.
That's what I'm looking for. Design.
You should have a banner in the beginning, or have that banner set up your banner to do that for the sponsor.
Right. I think I have it on my screen, or have it on my computer. When it
comes up, and you should use code Get Real Global TV for 10% off your order on the thing.
Oh, actually, that's a good idea.
Oh yeah.
See, I raised you right or something.
I've been looking into some of this stuff because it's like I for mine too. It's like I want to get sponsors on there too. So I just kind of look into things, how to do certain things. So,
yeah, I hate that. Yeah.
And same thing with the presentation. I had to figure that out because we weren't sure how that would work for me to do a slideshow, but I figured it out.
I'll send you the link to my religious podcast. I had some really interesting guests I had, and it was pretty crazy. But I'll send it to you so you can see how it was done. You know?
Right. I've changed quite a bit of things. I feel like I'm always like trying to, you know, amp it up and kind of add stuff to it. So
the more you learn, the better it'll be. So
yeah.
For sure.
I've always been I feel good with like technical stuff. It's been more so for me learning how to like talk to people and like carry on a flow of a conversation. That's something that I've like really worked on and tried to get better at.
Yeah, well, practice makes perfect. The more you do it, the better you'll get at it. Oh, there it goes. Yeah.
My goodness, that scared me. I was like, what just happened? Screen like from the spread.
Oh, so these are the
here's some of the like this is you like Beach and Peach. Mango white peach cooler. I don't know if everybody can see the website. This is our one of our sponsors. See, so you can get the tubs, and it's like a powder, and you mix it in your water. But it gives you a boost of energy. Jitterless energy blend. Ooh, very nice. WB Better Calio cream. Look at the Dub sludge. Look at that. Granny Smith apple and secret sauce. Wonder what the hell the secret sauce is.
Might be hot sauce.
I'm kind of scared. I don't know, man. I'm kind of scared.
It's Granny. The secret sauce is Granny's denture water.
Oh God. Okay. You got look, Grandpa's denture water energy drink.
No, don't say that.
So the Dub sludge, it's Granny's denture water.
Purple Dub sauce. Look at that mystery flavor energy drink. I'm kind of scared about that one. They got the sampler pack. You can try it out, see what it is.
Yeah. I like that.
People
love us. You will too.
A modern approach to energy. Let's see.
All right.
And it has really good reviews. See, it comes in these little tubs like this.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know what I mean? They push and punch. Like, they got a lot of really good, it looks like some really good flavors, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And they're ranked #1 tasting energy drink. This is according to my taste buds. Shut up. Anyway, so you can even get them in cans too. They're really no different in pricing really than any other energy drink, to be honest with you. But they got the big cans. Oh, good. They got the damn strawberry banana back in stock. Oh, anyway, I'm going to try that out. And so, like I said, just go and I was trying to find their logo, but really, though. Anyway. Let's see.
If you look up W Energy logo, you'll see the smiley face thing real quick.
Yeah, I'm looking for the logo too. But you said it was really cool, right?
It is. I'm like, where the hell is my goddamn? Like, where is it? Join W Club. It was around here somewhere.
So you probably got to look it up.
Oh, that's all. Well, anyway, it should be. You can see it. You can see it when the website's on your screen, but. Okay. Oh, here we go. See.
It looks like weird because the screen reflection looks like rainbows, but
yeah. Let's do this one. Let's do this one. Share this one.
But they have this cool one too. Oh, geez. Oh, that was you. Look at the blood
this one.
The blood one's
cool. That's the W energy.
Okay, so
yeah.
it's like
energy drink.
Look red over his mouth or something.
It's like he's dead. I don't know what the fuck's up with that. Maybe it's like if you drink their stuff, it's gonna wake you the fuck up. Yeah.
Anyway. You didn't show this one. Look, this one's got blood dripping from its mouth.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah. Is that is that the Halloween version? Anyway,
I don't know, but it's gnarly.
Anyway, yeah, just go to w.gg and put in our code Get Real Global TV, and you get a percentage off your purchase. I think it's 10% if I remember correctly. But you can get all kinds of good stuff.
Yeah,
so
that sounds awesome.
It does. I can't wait to try it. I'm waiting for mine. Hopefully we'll get a little pack or something. I'm hoping that they send us something. I think they send you out like a freebie box where you get, you could try different stuff. So I eventually that will come in. Yeah, samples and things, so we can see what the hype is. So I'll get some stuff and I'll send it off to you guys.
Awesome.
Well, so you guys can try it out also. See what you think of it. And I'm hoping that it sounds good, so I'm happy.
Yeah, it does sound good. I like protein drinks.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I kind of watch like if it has like too much sugar, too much sodium, but
you know what's great? This one has no sugar. This one has no sugar.
That's how
I
know.
All
I think I like
natural.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. They use all natural.
Have too much sugar, too much salt.
Yeah, and I don't think there's any sodium in it either, or it's very. If it is, there's very low or something like that. Yeah, because I was looking at the ingredients and stuff, and it looks really good. So, anyway, go to Debbie.energy. Debbie.gg. Yeah.
Yeah. WDUBBY.GG, and it'll come up.
Yeah. So, but I think we are good for this week. Everybody come back next week, and we're going to be discussing abuse and the gender roles within that, like how it affects either gender, and depending, I guess, on the dynamic of the family as well, how that all plays out. You know what I mean? And the reasons maybe why, but there's different types of abuse. We're going to talk about different things. Child abuse, elder abuse. We're even going to go a little bit hardcore. We're going to talk about like things like rape, things about like, you know what I mean? There's a lot of subjects that we're probably going to broach within this realm that might be uncomfortable for some people. So if you are faint of heart, maybe you don't.
Viewer discretion is advised.
Yes. We're going to be talking about abuse and how that looks. And
well, yeah, because we don't want to trigger anybody.
No, exactly.
We don't want to trigger anybody.
Try to trigger a PTSD moment.
Mm-hmm.
It might trigger my PTSD moments. No, I was kidding. I have many bags to unpack with that subject matter, but that's for another show. So join us next week as we talk about abuse and how that affects people and how.
Please come back. Yes, listen to the show. Tell your friends.
Right, and then how it's oh yes. Please make sure you share, like, subscribe, and follow.
Yes.
This is the Venus and Mars show. You can find us on our social media. You can find all the links to like every podcast that I have, including the prior one that China and I were hosts for. And that was a great show. Mm-hmm. I mean, you're always welcome to join Wicked Entertaining on Friday nights. That's your choice. We're always here. We interview. Same thing. It's the same exact format. No different. I just changed the name.
Is it the same link?
Yes. Same. Yes. Same link to join. Yes.
All right.
I keep it. It's just easier. But that's Friday nights at 9 p.m. So if you ever want to join, you're always welcome to jump on. Okay. I'll tell you ahead of time, like who we're going to have as a guest, and, I guess leave it up to you to decide. But yes, so this Friday night I've got on Wicked Entertaining, speaking of that, coming back. So next Thursday, join us for the Venus and Mars show. And that will be discussing abuse and the roles of men and women within that construct. That will be 8 o'clock next Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern time, 5 p.m. Pacific time. So join us back for that. And you can just go to Get Real Global TV on YouTube. or you can also get to Get Real Global TV on Twitch. Or you can watch this podcast on, my Jennifer DeVoe Muse page or several of our other pages. I have it live broadcast streaming too. So you can see it many places. But this Friday on Wicked Entertaining, we are going to have Armageddon, the metal band. And so that'll be fun. Saturday, I don't have a guest. But so what I want to do, since it's about to be Halloween and we don't have a guest for this coming Saturday, and this is for Fear and Fascination, Horror, Sci-Fi, and Fantasy Unleashed. That is our FFHSFU podcast. You can find us on Twitter. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram as literally at FFHSFU podcast, which stands for Fear, Fascination, Horror, Sci-Fi Unleashed.
I thought that. No, I'm just kidding.
Horror, Sci-Fi, Fantasy Unleashed. My bad. Horror, Sci-Fi, Fantasy. But that is, hey, that's too much that's too many words. So
too many words.
You got to kind of like do that abbreviation thing at that point. Yeah. But what I want to do this Saturday is discuss slasher movies.
Oh.
We will talk about the ones from the
slasher movies.
The 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, how they've evolved.
What time is that show?
Oh, that one is at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So
I
you can
love horror.
That as well. That's what I'm saying. So that's a perfect subject for Halloween, and that is the weekend before Halloween. That's what I'm saying. So you always welcome to jump on that too. Mm-hmm. So this Saturday will be Fear, Fascination, Horror, Sci-Fi, Fantasy Unleashed. That is at 4 p.m. Pacific time or 7 p.m. Eastern time.
Are you going to be on, Samantha?
Yes, she's also a co-host on that as well.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yes. Yeah. Because we love horror. And
so
I don't know. I love sci-fi and fantasy also. So those are three subjects I really love.
I am a horror movie connoisseur.
There you go. See? So this will be a perfect subject for you as we discuss slasher movies. All the way from Psycho to there's so many. So many
good ones.
So many good ones. And they all just like are different even in their own rights and how they evolved. So, but we'll discuss that. And so that is all for right now. We do have some great guests coming up in November for Wicked Entertaining on Friday nights. We've got PR publicist Raquel Figlo on Friday, November 1st. She works with some big names in the industry, like really big names. We've also got Friday, November 8th, we've got Dilly Briggs from the Dilly Briggs podcast. She Rock News, right? She interviews people kind of like what we do in the world of entertainment. She has her own radio show and everything. November 15th, we've got Carry On, which is an amazing band. I've had them play my concerts, and I've been to a ton of their shows. They are really good, really good. I love those guys. I'm friends with the lead singer, Mark. He's really good people, really good people. And then Friday, November 22nd, we have the Tragic Radicals. They are a really good band. They've also played my concerts. You know what I mean? Really good, solid music. And then Friday, November 29th, we have the beautiful stylings of musical guest Jeff Gold. He plays lighter, more think more Simon and Garfunkel. Think more, that style of music. Very, very. He's real. And again, he's played my concerts.
I call that.
All three of them, at one point or another, have played my concerts. It's crazy.
Is his type of music like classical rock?
More easygoing, more, you know what I mean? Just nice, easy, flowing, really nice music.
Mellow.
Exactly, very mellow, and that's good. You know what I mean? And I had him playing in amongst punk rock and metal bands. That was interesting. That night was very, very interesting. He played for me at the Universal Bar and Grill in North Hollywood, California. So that was fun. Good night. Good band.
John Denver type music.
Yes, that kind of really easy going. Yeah. That type of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. He says, wait a minute, Jeff Gold. Yes. See, he knew as soon as I said that, he knew exactly who it was going to be.
Yeah.
He nice dude. And then, and what I'm really, really excited for is Friday, December 6th. I'm going to have Chris Hype, lead singer of Burning Time. They're a band from Maine, and that's a rarity. They are amazing. I said, really? Why aren't you somebody? Why haven't you been signed to a big label? Why are you not bigger than you are? And so we're going to ask them these questions. Ooh, and then Friday, December 13th, I've got Clay and Fire. They're a Native American band.
Oh, you really got a lineup there. You really got some, different types of music. And you got a good lineup.
Here's another good one. Friday, January 3rd, I've got a really hardcore metal band called 12 Gauge Confessional. And then Friday, January 10th, I've got Vero G, our wonderful friend Veronica Gonzalez, is going to be back on with more music and more award-winning wonderfulness. And I don't know, just like kind of a little bit of a prelude. And any episode, like I said, if we don't have a guest for Fear and Fascination, we're going to discuss different things. Different types of horror, different types of fantasy. There's so many movies and so many TV shows that you can discuss.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm not really worried about it. We have subject matter for many decades to come.
I don't think you'll run out of dialogue.
No. Many different things that we can talk about. We talk about merch. We can talk about, even in the realm of comic books, they're considered kind of like sci-fi and fantasy type of a twisting of, you know what I mean? People who have supernatural abilities that can do crazy things like fly and you know what I mean? To me, that's kind of like, that's supernatural and like, I don't know, you know what I mean? But we'll discuss all these things on episodes of all of our different podcasts. Go check out Minds on a Mission for my daughter. Friday nights and Monday nights, and then go check out all our podcasts. We have Wicked Entertaining on Friday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Pacific. We have the Venus and Mars show, which is what you're watching right now. That is on Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, which is 5 p.m.
Spread the word.
Spread the word. If you want to be a guest on our shows, let us know.
Hit us up.
On Fear and Fascination, we typically interview people from the worlds of horror, sci-fi, and fantasy. But that's not like all we do. We also talk about other things. And then Saturdays is the Fear and Fascination about horror, sci-fi, and fantasy. That's on Saturdays. And that is at 7 p.m. Eastern Time or 4 p.m. Pacific Time. And then we're getting ready to launch, for those of you who would be interested in this, we're getting ready to launch another podcast called Gagging for More. And that's where we interview drag artists from around the world.
Cool.
Their style and whatnot, or so many different things. So we're gonna be doing that, and that's gonna be Saturdays at 5 p.m. Eastern, which is 2 p.m. Pacific. So these are projects we're working on. But thank you everybody for watching. We appreciate you. Go check out Debbie.gg to get your energy drinks today.
Thank you so much for listening.
Cool. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Come on back Friday night, Saturday, next Thursday with us to party again. Jennifer Vogt Muse, Samantha Bailey, and China Myers.
Woo!
Till next time.
Guys.
Bye.
Bye. I'm going to go put my apron on.
Ah! She's going to go. Anyway. She's gonna...